He just like gets up. He's like, I'm gonna move over here now, right? Tired of getting beat up on. Well, I just got a really high combo there. I just got like 138 combo. I just completely destroyed it, dude. I stun locked it, man. Oh. I completely annihilated that enemy is what I did. And I got 5,500 experience for it too. Nice. 25 grade? Oh my god. Jeez. That was about right, Zohar. It's actually exactly what happened, dude. It's that's exactly what happened, man.
So she's the same sort of Mog as Bienfu?
You're Grimoire, right? We've been looking for you. We need your help. Who are you? I'm Velvet. I know your witch friend. Oh.
Grim, so wonderful to see you.
It's been forever!
Ah, you two. Still as outlandish a pair as ever, I see.
How exactly do you know her?
Witch training? She was an upperclassman.
And?
We found this fascinating ancient tome, and we were hoping you could read it for us.
Goodness, Magilu. You, of all people, joining a team? I didn't know you had it in you.
That keep me entertained.
Well, I don't need entertainment.
Bien! Come on, Grim! Isn't there any way you can help us?
It's not the kind of thing I do.
Oh, what a shame. Things happen. Well, we tried, didn't we?
Maybe you need some incentivizing. Do it. I'm serious. I bet you are. Your eyes tell me you're dangerous. Trouble follows you like a hawk tails a rabbit.
Bluff called.
And at my age, trouble is something I'd rather avoid.
How old are you?
Ask me again and you'll get a firework in the tush.
My apologies.
It appears we've wasted our time.
A walk on the beach is never wasted, but sorry.
We got a regular van up in here.
Well, how did you learn to read the ancient tongue? Are there books for studying it or something?
My. Are you actually thinking of learning it on your own?
Well, I love reading, and I want to learn more about history. Besides, we need what's in this book.
You have passion, child, I'll give you that.
Not to mention you want to be helpful to Velvet, don't you, kid?
Yeah.
My tuition isn't cheap, you know.
You will teach
You mean
me?
my gangster,
No,
bro?
I
Dude?
won't.
Kid?
But I
Yeah,
admire
he's straight
your
styling, right?
dedication enough to read it for you. Now where's this book?
Here it is, ma'am.
You needn't be so formal.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Not ma'am. Right.
Let's see what we're looking at here. The language of ancient Averost. Had to be the hard one, of course. A lot of wear and tear, too. This'll take some time. We're in a hurry.
That may well be, but this isn't the place for study. Let's move to someplace more comfortable.
You've redeemed yourself, young man. There's a village called Haria just a little ways away.
That works. Thank you.
Fine. Haria Village. Whatever gets the job done.
Haria. Isn't that the village with that demon that Oscar and Teresa were talking about?
I think it might be. We should remain on our guard.
Let's see what's written here. It says, "Suck it, losers." The ancient tongue. An ancient riddle, an ancient book with secrets beyond your ken.
That's Haria Village.
To the inn, one and all!
Well, there's 3 treasures in this zone somewhere. This looks like there's treasures up there, so let's try to find the little path that takes me up there. Oh, there's definitely not a way up there, judging by the texture. I feel like there's a path that leads around over through here, yeah. Nailed it. Ooh, you look special. Oh, it is. It's a special enemy. That's what the red is. I forgot that's what that means. Let's kill it!
I don't think we have a chance! Roll down!
You don't think we have a chance, huh?
Now, rise, arise, ascending,
And donk.
roll down! Wait, here's Drew! Roll down! Roll down!
Damn it, come back here, you stupid thing! I can't keep comboing you if you don't get beat up.
Gaze upon my fiery view! Dark and white!
Stop moving around! Oh, I have 7 HP left. I'm not gonna use an item. These guys got it.
There are none who can resist my spear.
I mean, item-free victory, but minus one for KO. Don't get stuck in this cave when the tide comes up. You will drown. Well, maybe not. Is there a way to stop them from announcing every attack they do? Yeah, I know. It's your typical anime action RPG fare where they scream everything all the time. There's no way to get rid of it as far as I know. I don't like it either. But I mean, that's like par for the course on this kind of game. It's expected and understood. Some people really like it. Again, you know, a game like this, it's pretty much made for kids. Story-wise, character-wise, action-wise, it's very kid-focused. Although, some of the stuff is a bit yikes. Not necessarily for kids, but just that kids would be taught that, you know? Do they even have tides? Well, if you have waves, you have tides, probably. Well, if you have normal waves anyway, then you have tides, probably. Because if you don't have a moon, then waves grow, like, really big. Like, if you don't have a moon to keep waves down, then waves will typically, you know, be several hundred feet high. What's up, DT? But I believe I did see a moon or two or five. That's a skybox. That's a really obvious skybox too. That's a. Yep. Gosh, like there's so many like visually disappointing things in this game, despite it being like the most impressive Tales game visually that I've played. There's still just a lot of like, ugh. Never heard the moon would keep waves down. Waves are generated by the wind in gravity, by the way. Yes, gravity also plays a part in it. The moon is why we have non-crazy wave sizes and a tide. That's what the moon does. It regulates the ocean, basically. If the moon were to be destroyed or anything like that, or go away, we would all die. Mass flooding across all coastal areas for several hundred miles inland. Many island nations would be completely swallowed up. Japan would basically cease to exist completely. It's complete devastation. Complete devastation. That's why when we talk about like planets having life out there, like the conditions for life to be met is more than just, you know, amino acids coming together and pow life. It's like the planet has to be a hospitable environment. It has to have, you know, certain conditions, at least for land life anyway, like a moon, in order to, you know, keep tides and water levels within reason. Thankfully, that'll never happen until the moon destruction ray gets built and we get held hostage by a supervillain. Cut the ocean away with glorious Nippon steel. It'd be Mizu Tetsuken or something like that. Instead of steel cutting blade, it'd be water cutting blade or something. There's another treasure somewhere. Ah, Jesus Christ! Thank you, Chrono Crash, for the 456 bits. Can't beat that number, so I'm joining in. Yeah, it's fine, man. I mean, I get it, dude. Like, freaking Breath of Fire 3 is gonna be played. Like, it's alright. I totally understand. Feldspar fragment, huh? Amphimibal fragment. You're only a week away from test firing your lunar obliteration laser? Oh no. Yeah, it would legitimately, absolutely, completely devastate the face of the Earth. Like, in a cataclysmic way you can only imagine. Oh. That was actually the fragment that I needed, which is kind of funny. If the moon ceases to exist now, however, that could happen. Of course, the Earth would have to adjust to the new gravity conditions for some time, but I doubt that we would have very high waves if we had no moon at all in the first place. Nope. Let's do some science, shall we? What would happen to the Earth if there was no moon? If there is no moon, then the water might spread across the planet equally to reduce the amount of friction. This means that the Earth would not slow, which then means that the hours of our world would change. Hours of our days would change. Really? That can't be the only reason. 7 ways Earth would change if the moon were destroyed. Oh god, no, I don't. Oh god, just give me a freaking website. No calendar is based on a simple system of month. With no moon, there'd be no nearby world for astronauts to visit, of course. Moon and sun together cause the tides. If we'd have no moon, we'd still have tides, but they would not be as strong. Oh, okay. So the sun would actually keep the waves in check. That makes more sense. More on the moon has a place in human culture. The Earth would spin faster. Our day would be shorter. Huh. So I guess because of the sun's gravity, that keeps our waves in check as well. You can make me play Diddy Kong Racing? You sure can. Aviator sunglasses. Nice. Much better. Gotta get those aviators on.
We could use a place to stay. Any rooms open?
Yep. Just finished cleaning, in fact. You can help yourself to that room there.
No cost, thanks.
All right, time to start deciphering this scroll.
Let's wait somewhere outside so Grim can concentrate.
Do you think maybe I could stay and watch? I really do want to study the ancient tongue. I promise I'll be quiet and not get in your way, teacher.
What did you just say, child?
That I'd be quiet and...
No, what did you call me?
Teacher? You said you didn't want to be called ma'am, so I thought maybe that'd work.
Yes, satisfactory. All right. I'll teach you how to read Ancient Avarost.
Thank you so much, teacher!
We'll leave you two alone then. Let us know if anything comes up.
Oh boy.
So she digs being called teacher.
This is my favorite
Well
track
played,
of the game.
Laphicet.
She wasn't so fond of ma'am, so I guess he figured he needed an alternative.
You can tell how badly he wanted to help her with the languagey work. I think our Malak boy's finally finding himself.
So it would seem.
Do you have a particular interest in Diddy Kong Racing, Chrono
What
Crash?
connection do you think there is between the violent demon
I mean, it's
Teresa
all
mentioned
back
and
to
this
zero
village?
once we start Breath of Fire
Couldn't tell you.
3, so...
Could there have been a demon blight breakout here? This village doesn't look like it's been attacked, but...
Whatever it is. If it keeps the Abbey's eyes off us for once, that's good enough for me.
You really will use anything and everything towards your own
What's up,
ends,
Kirizaru?
won't you?
Yep, and that includes you. As I'm sure you've noticed.
Banning local religions. The Abbey sure knows how to oppress the populace.
I'd imagine that comes part and parcel with spreading the good word. Other gods would only get in the way.
From what we overheard, it sounds like they've taken over Amenoch's temple, Palamedes, to use as their base of operations.
Sealing it off would be provocative enough, but straight up taking it over? Not a lot of so-called reason to that. Unless... Do you think they need it for some other purpose?
Shrug.
Voice acting, it's okay. It's pretty standard. There's a lot of good talent, but there's not a lot of like good direction that really, really creates a good voice acting. It's standard. It's just standard Saturday morning cartoon fare kind of style of voice acting. It's not bad, but it's not like anything special
It
either.
sounds like deciphering the text might take some time.
We should be prepared to wait it out here a while. Hopefully it'll all be worth it in the end.
I hope so too. But ancient Avarost is complex. It's not just a matter of knowing the grammar and vocabulary.
Oh? Then how exactly do you read it?
I'm not sure about the specifics myself, but from what I understand, you kind of have to intuit a lot of it.
A language based on guesswork? Thanks, old dead people. You're officially the worst.
Oh, Ancient Avarost. You have the obstinacy of a spurned lover who refuses to move on.
Even for you, teacher?
It's this one crucial line. I can't wrap my head around it.
Well, from what you've taught me so far, it looks like it says... Sa, Popo, mucho Sanchon.
Correct, but if you merely translate it word for word, it ends up saying, the parent hates tomatoes, the child eggplants.
I doubt those have much to do with the Nominat. Yeah.
Their grammar is nothing like ours. Sometimes you have to reorder the words, and even then the meaning can require leaps of logic and flashes of intuition.
Reordering? So like, San-san, Pocho Pocho, Pocho Musan, Pocho Musan. Can you read it that way?
Pocho Muson. Now where did you get that from?
These words are lined up, like they repeat. And when I read this part that same way, it just felt right.
Pocho Muson. If that's repeated here, then the passage turns into the Nameless Empyrean.
Wow, how convenient that he just happened to learn
that
it
has
and
to refer to
figured out the
Nominat.
most important part
I
of
think
it.
we're on to something. All
Never
right,
would have
so
guessed
if we
that was going to
apply this rule
happen
here, then
in my wildest dreams.
it would seem to be a book of children's counting songs.
It's not about Inominat?
What matters is what the song says, child. And I think you will be very interested in the words.
I wonder if they've made any progress yet.
Shall we go check on them?
Explaining localization, kind of a little bit, yeah. Like you don't literally translate things. You need to adjust what the. Oh man, I had a discussion with someone the other day about how like literal translation is the only true way to localize, and I was just like, I think I'm gonna be sick. It was really hard to have that discussion with someone as wrong as that. No, I do want to save! I did it. Thank you, Sarah Jean. You gave me a victory jingle for my successful saving. Thank you for the 4 months resub. Thank you.
Well, any results?
Yes, well, thanks to the boy here. As it turns out, he has quite the knack for languages.
Only because I've got the best teacher.
Pretty much, Little
Careful,
Rocks, yeah.
honey tongue. You'll give this old
FF7 is
girl
one of the first
ideas.
like games to have a really full. It is the first
Now,
game to
child,
have a
I'm
full,
sure they're
complex,
curious about the
detailed
song
story.
we unearthed. Why don't you read it aloud?
Yes, teacher.
Like if you have like a comment or a
Song?
reference to like Japanese mythology and then you translate it
Eight-headed is the
literally,
Lord of
I'm
the
not gonna
Land,
get that.
with 7 mouths to devour malevolence. Through pulses of earth doth base nature's flow, as he awaits the time of awakening. 4 Empyreans may tear him asunder, but so long as there is one receptive to divine power, Therians shall be forever reborn, in sight of the full crimson moon. The nameless Empyrean hath one heart, the nameless Empyrean hath one body.
Therians?
Essentially, this ancient text you found is an annotated volume of drawings and songs pertaining to Inominat.
Annotated? Then hurry up and just tell us what it means.
I'm sorry. So far, we've only figured out how to read the song lyrics.